Yeah, baby. It's Tuesday, August 9th, and you're listening to a brand new episode of the Julien Dionne Show without Jen Grant. Yes. Another solo pod today on today's episode. Well, I break down all alone. I've never felt so alone in all my life. I break down it's been almost a month since the last episode. July 11th was the last one. So I'm on here just to give a quick update, check in, kind of kick the rest off the old algorithms, get the machine going again. The content machine. It's been parked in the shed in the summer heat, no less. So I'm just here to give a little solo pod micro update episode. A micro episode, macro dosing. I'm hammered right now. I'm shit-faced, fucked up. Not actually. It's Monday night, actually, right now, live and direct. It's 8:38 p.m. Eastern Time. This is being released Tuesday morning. We're trying to get back on schedule. So much has happened since our last episode. I mean, where to even begin? First and foremost, we got married. We're married. This is a little loud, but yes. Mr. and Mrs. Grant. I took Jen's name. I don't know why that's kind of a running joke in the family. People were kind of like coming up to me and being like, "Hey, did you take on? I heard you took on the name, Jen's name, as a joke." You know, when it's one of those jokes where you feel like, "Huh, it's funny, but this is definitely something that's been said behind my back." You know what I mean? This is definitely something that's been said at my expense. It's just one of those vibes, that joke. So much so that, oh shit, I can't remember who it was. I apologize, because we've had so many interactions. I mean, the one-on-ones, the two-on-ones, the three-on-ones, the socio interactions over the last 4 weeks. We're talking wedding, East Coast, all of that. There's been some, I can't remember what I've said to who, to what, to when, but I lost my train of thought. It was bound to happen. I mean, I'm very still scattered, still recovering from it all. What was it that we were just saying? I wish Jen was here. She'd tell me things. She'd give me advice.
Well, maybe you should wash it?
Yes, I should wash it. You're right. What was I just saying? I feel like I should replay, because I was starting to think of all the interactions I've had. Anyway, talking about the last month. Hold on. You know what? I'm pre-taping these. I can technically. Oh, here's what I'll do. Hold on. The video feed will continue, but I'm going to stop here and listen. Hold on. Let me play this. Ooh, hold on. The video feed will. You're right. What was I just saying? I feel like I should replay, because I was starting to think of all the interactions I've had. Anyway, so much so that oh shit, I can't remember who it was. Where you feel like, huh, it's funny, but this is definitely something that's been said behind my back. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, got it. Just rewound with the technology. The joke. Fuck, sorry. Macro dose, a micro episode. The joke of me taking Jen's name, Grant. Okay, so much so that, again, I don't know who this was because I've had so many interactions. That's where it derailed. Someone was like, "So, are you taking Jen's name?" Oh, it was just yes. We just had, actually, it was producer Jordan's birthday. Happy birthday week to producer Jordan. That's why I'm alone right now. It's Jordan's birthday week. Jen's otherwise occupied, getting back into real life. So I thought I need to get on again to kick the rust off the old the content machine. Just get things lubed up again so we can ramp up our regular schedule and get back to things. But someone legitimately thought we went to Jordan's birthday, and someone was like, "Are you taking Jen's name?" and was legit serious. I was like, "What's that?" "No, of course not. No, I'm not. course not. He was like, oh, no, but it's 2022. You never know. I was like, this is a joke that's for sure been said behind our backs. My back, specifically mine. But now that we're married, our backs. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. Because a couple times, that joke's been made a couple times. You know what I mean? I'm a comic. I have a thick skin, but after a while, you see patterns. You go, wait, why is that joke? Why is that a recurring theme? Anyway, not only did I take Jen's name, I took her mom's name, Watty, Julien Grant Watty Dionne. Triple hyphenated. 20. Welcome to 2022, baby. By the way, yes, I would take Jen's name. So what was that movie? They do that in the movies. Very funny. His friends only find out that he took the name when he's checking into a hotel. He hyphenated his name. Hot Tub Time Machine. Great movie. I don't know why the rim shot, but anyway. So we got married. It was fantastic. It was out east in New Brunswick. And so many worlds colliding at the wedding. That's the beauty of weddings. I mean, my agent Mia met my mother, Producer Jordan met my mother's brother. It's just like so many things. Wires crossed. It was a lot of fun. It was a really fun time. And it was so overwhelming. I have to give credit to Jen again for all the planning. I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast at lengths. I won't cover it, but I really didn't do much. And the stuff that I was involved in, that I did do, I wasn't very pleasant doing it. I complained a lot, drugged my feet. That's when you shoot up heroin between the toes. Anyway, and a lot of family. We got to spend 2 weeks for the first time at our cottage in Cap Bimet, in Grand Barachois, just outside of Chiriac, for the first time. We had spent some time there before, but it was under renovations and construction and all that. Now we actually we got to enjoy it, spend every day at the beach, wake up, walk down to the beach. I mean, it was really... to me, it's psychotic that we don't all live by the ocean. But then you say that, and then mid to late October rolls around, and then it's a rude awakening. It's very clear our early settlers found this place in like June. These places where I'm broadcasting from now too, Wakefield. I mean, what are we doing? If you could tell in my voice, I'm nasally sick. I can't believe I'm sick again. It's not the vid. I tested 3 times, actually. The first time I've tested so much. Every other time I've tested, it was bing, positive, quick, right away. Bing, bing, bang. And this time, no. 3 times. Negatron. Captain Negatron. Here's the thing at the wedding. Oh, man. So the wedding was so fun. Again, I mean, there's so many... I'm not going to reminisce and harp on it too much because if you weren't there, I mean, what's the point? But it was really, it's like describing a dream or trying to describe a meme. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really, you had to be there. It's one of those. But my brother Mike was there. Mike of the Mike Bloom Band. Yes, he was my best man, and he gave a Pulitzer speech, and so did my sister Mayor Joe, and everybody was there. Oh my God, it was just such a fun time. Where was I going with that? I'm not gonna replay. Wait, what? Oh yeah, so my speech at the beginning of the speech. So there's 140 people at the wedding, approximately, plus the staff at the place, and it was in a before the wedding, before people showed up, it was like a meat locker, and they're cold. The AC units, everything was running, but you fill it up with people in one shot, and then dinner's served, and candles. But the candles are all on all the tables, like it's a mini fire. We eventually put out all the candles, because if you were to put all the candles in one like spot, it'd be this huge fire generating heat. Well, it's that, but spread out throughout the room. Eventually, we got the heat sorted, but anyway, poorly ventilated. And During our speech, I opened with welcome to our superspreader wedding as a joke. Turns out, at least I know, okay, directly, I mean, I heard of 30 people minimum from the wedding that got COVID. It's and a bunch of other people that just got the flu. I got the flu. I mean, it would have been the third, or I'm thinking even the fourth time I would have had COVID if I tested positive this time around, which is maybe the it seems like, and if you came to the wedding, our wedding, if you had COVID before, you just got sick at the wedding. You can still hear it. It's so disgusting. My face is disgusting. It's just leaking all the time. And if you've never had COVID, you got COVID at our wedding, which I apologize to all of our guests, my agent's husband. I mean, all of my sisters, my nieces and nephews. I mean, so many people. It's crazy. My cousin Yvonne, who emceed the wedding. I mean, so many people. Her husband, and those are just the people I heard from. I think pretty much everybody got it. It has to have been. It was so poorly ventilated in there. Did not think this would have been a thing 2.5 years in. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. No, not actually. Do not isolate that. I don't mean that. I'm sick of everything. And literally sick still. Here's the thing, too. This is my 4th time being sick in 2022. Got COVID on December 30th and got COVID 3 other times after that. Twice I tested. Once, I assume it was because it was just so long. Maybe it wasn't. Point being, I'm just getting the flu now and it's lasting a long time. Is it possible I'm getting it over and over and just it's not showing up on tests or something because I've tested positive in the past, but I still have, because it seems to linger. Before, a cold and flu was maybe 2 days. 4 at the max, big max. And now it's been, so I fell ill the fucking day after the wedding. No, a week after the wedding. The Saturday, 1 week after the wedding. Anyway, not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but that's what's been going on. Got married. Oh, yes, it was exactly a week after the wedding because... So we spent a week before the wedding at the cottage and then the week after the wedding at the cottage. We decided this will be our honeymoon. We bought a cottage on a whim 2 months ago as an impulse. And we're like, you know what? Forget all the honeymoons or gifts for the next 20 to 25 years. The cottage is the gift for everything now. So we decided no honeymoon. And then about 2 days into our quote-unquote honeymoon at the cottage after the wedding, we're like, you know what? This is not a honeymoon. This is a vacation. This is a post-wedding vacation. It's fun. But, I mean, we hosted people still. There was people from out of town. By the way, shout out to everybody from out of town that came to the wedding. I mean, it was such an unbelievable, I don't know, it's hard to receive. Sometimes I feel like I need to be a better receiver in life. Because everyone that came into town, I'm like, are you sure? I mean, why? Are you here? But I really appreciate it. But we hosted a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days into after the wedding. So it was a lot of socializing. And where our cottage is, it's surrounded by my best of friends. I mean, I'm telling you, all of my inner circle out east of close, personal, best friends all have cottages where we bought our place. Anyway, who cares? This is content. This is just an update. Again, I'm kicking off the rust off the old algorithms, off the old content machine, getting her lubed up. This is what this episode is. Just a little update. We're married. Mr. and Mrs. Grant. So I got sick the Saturday after the wedding, exactly 1 week, and we had to leave on Sunday. This was a nightmare day. Listen to this. Let me regale you with this day. So Saturday, last week, what was it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The date. It would have been the 30th, July 30th. Last Saturday, a week after the wedding, 31st, whatever, doesn't matter. That weekend. Last weekend of July. We were leaving the cottage. We had been there for 2 weeks, so there's stuff everywhere. There's food in all of the cabinets. There's clothes in every nook and cranny, just things left, personal belongings everywhere, chargers plugged in, just stuff all over the place. We've been living there for 2 weeks. We have Airbnb tenants coming in on the Sunday, July 31st, checking in, 3 p.m. We have to be out. We have to drive. We actually have to drive back on the 31st, so it works out. So Saturday, we were like, it's such a social place. I would describe it as like an all-inclusive resort, but with cottages. Actually, Erica Sigurdsson, friend of the show, our dear friend, Jen's BFF, she was at the wedding. She came to the cottage. She described it as a like a high-end trailer park. Upper scale. By the way, upper scale means there's just no wheels. It's not that much really bigger than a trailer. But anyway, so much fun. You walk around with drinks. You just go around from proper. Like everyone's just out. Patios. Anyway. Shit. Last day. There's people all around, and it's our last day, so it's a big. We're doing it straight from the morning. Go to the beach, start day drinking. Which, by the way, that's another whole other thing I need to get under. I need to figure out this drinking thing. It's so out of hand right now. The wedding leading up to was all stress, and then it was the wedding. Now it's like, well, it's post-wedding. I'm still in the honeymoon phase. I'm just drinking way too much. Anyway. So this Saturday, we wake up, we go to the beach, we're having drinks. We're like, okay. And in the back of our minds, Jenny and I were like, we have to go back and pack for tomorrow. We need to, again, there's food in every cupboard. There's stuff everywhere, clothes, wet towels. There's every bed has been slept in, even though it's just the two of us. We had people over. We've got bunk beds, the top bunk, everything. There's just, I have to fix the outdoor shower. I have to change locks on the shed. I have to amalgamate garbages. There's a lot that needs to be done on the mental to-do list. And I'm not writing shit down. That's another thing. I'm just like, I have all this stuff to do. And it's Saturday, we're drinking. And I'm like, uh-oh. So Jenny, being the responsible one, is like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the cottage. Just start packing stuff. Just throwing stuff in bags and boxes and just sort of getting... And we have 2 cars. We took separate cars because we had so much stuff to bring down. And she was picking up her sister in Fredericton 2 hours away on Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. So it's now Saturday afternoon. We're like drinking. She starts roughly packing. I start to not feel that great. I'm starting to like sound like I'm sounding now, nasally, but then like a little feverish, achy, that cold, hot, cold. You've got the shivers, but cold sweats, and I start feeling that way. We have a barbecue. There's people around. I'm like, oh my God, fuck. I hit a major wall where I'm just like, I need to sleep. I need to absolutely just go to bed right now. So Jenny and I make a pact. We go, let's get up at like 4 a.m. It's right now it's 7 p.m. Saturday. We've got hours of stuff to do. I mean, packing and cleaning because we've got Airbnb tenants checking in. Packing is enough after 2 weeks, let alone getting a cottage ready for tenants, new people. So we go, let's just go to bed. It's like 7 or 8 o'clock. Let's just sleep. We'll wake up at like 4 a.m. naturally because, we're going to sleep all night. And we'll just wake up and do everything in the morning. If you leave by 8, pick up your sister by 10. You'll only be waiting there for about a half hour. Be all right. I'll be not too far behind you, and we'll get her done. But I'm not feeling great. And now it's like I'm really not feeling good. And I'm in bed. I remember actually it was exactly 9 o'clock. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. I'm just awful. I have to wake up, pack everything, clean the cottage, make it mint condition, fix the outdoor shower, change the locks on the shed, amalgamate the garbage, jump in the car with the dog, and leave, and drive 11 and a half hours home. I wake up. We both wake up at 7:30 on Sunday morning. At this point, if Jen left at that moment, she would be arriving at her sister at exactly 9:30 the time. that she was supposed to be there. Still had to pack everything, cupboards full of food, clothes in every nook and cranny, sand everywhere. And, I mean, it's by the ocean. And I have to fix the outdoor shower. Wake up 7:30, and I have a fever at this point. I'm achy. I feel like death. Like fuck. I feel like shit. Freaking out. What are we gonna do? We start, and it's overwhelming. Call my parents to the rescue. Yes. They're saints. They'll do anything. Call them up. I go, Mom, we're overwhelmed. We have all this stuff to do. And they know what we have to do. They get it. And they know people have to check in. And they show up, my mom with her vacuum cleaner and my dad, and they just throw everything in boxes and bags and pack Jenny's car. She leaves. She ended up, her sister waited a good hour plus. I'm just like dragging my feet. I'm lifeless. I'm the shell of a man. It's unbelievable. And so, how shitty I feel. I mean, just like death. I do the bare minimum, basically. I'm just throwing stuff together. And I'm doing the thing and I'm still fucking going through all of my stuff, finding things randomly, thinking I forgot something because I was just throwing everything, no rhyme or reason. Car charger or phone charger in the bag with the socks and the underwear, my fucking, you name it. It's just a mess. Mix and match, everything, no rhyme or reason. And my toiletries, my toothbrush was like with in the cooler, floating around in the ice. Took me that long to think of another one. I'm not well. Anyway, pack everything, and my parents they went through the cottage like a reverse Tasmanian devil. It just was spotless. I fixed the outdoor shower, this, that, and the other, got in the car, drove. I drove 11 and a half hours with a fever. You know that feeling where everything hurts and you legitimately just want to end your life? Like you'd do anything for it. You start contemplating what the people that you would leave behind, like how hurt they would be. Like, yeah, they're shit, were they real back? Like you cannot possibly imagine. It was the most insane mental test I've ever gone through. I experienced every emotion known to man. I screamed, laughed, cried in the car, everything. And you know what's crazy? I just power bombed just down the highway. I had Gordy with me. He was asleep. I had all the windows down. He was just frolicking in the wind. I noticed if you put all the windows down, I discovered he just sleeps on his bed in the wind, doesn't care. It was great. I counted every kilometer, every minute on the GPS. I would drive and I'd be like, I can't believe it's only been 48 minutes. I have 10 hours and 52 minutes to go. It was crazy. Every inch of that highway I counted. The moment of getting home and sliding into my bed, feeling those cold, clean sheets untouched for 2 weeks, sliding into my comfortable bed, that feeling, it was my North Star. I mean, I couldn't wait. I couldn't believe it when I made it home. I almost stopped. Jenny told me, she called me. By the way, now that we're married, I'm calling her Jenny. Did you notice? I never really did that before on the show, but Jenny it is. But we're having fun here. What was I doing? Yeah. Oh, she's like, stop and get a hotel or a motel with the dog. It would have been nice, you know. Stop around 4 or 5 p.m. with the dog, get a little motel. I love motels on the road. I mean, it depends where. A city motel sucks, but along the drive between Ottawa and Moncton, Shediac, there's so many little places in New Brunswick and Quebec, motels, where you drive right up to the door of your room and you go right in there. There's something about it. Maybe that says a lot about my psyche. Maybe I need to aim bigger in life. But I am motel happy. If I'm in a motel, I'm happy as a clam. It's usually got like a thin... It's either like purples, like a purple floral thing, or like oranges, like earth tones, autumn colors, the thin comforter that's perfectly fitted to the bed. It hasn't been washed since 1977. I mean, the things that have happened on that thing. Anyway, the point is we're married now. I love motels. Now that we're married, our podcast, we're going to have to change the description of the podcast. We fall into another category of the sinks are always really small in motel bathrooms too, really small. Often the water's not drinkable for some reason. It's often a little tiny sink and the pressure is really strong. Little motel sink, you turn the sink on, the water, you get wet. It just flies everywhere. Every shit motel, I love it. Anyway, we're now co-hosts. We're husband and wife podcast co-hosts. We fall into another category, I think. We fall into a category of podcasts where you go, it's a wife and husband podcast. I hope there's a younger person that's running the equipment. Is anyone turning the machine on for them? That's what it sounds like. Before it's like boyfriend and girlfriend, comedian, co-hosts. A podcast is like, I don't know, there's an edge to it. Husband and wife podcast. Sounds old, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm thrilled. By the way, I recommend getting married. If you're in a long-term relationship, 5 plus 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, or 13 and a half years, get married. It's so much fun. I legitimately thought forever it was just like, that's a formality for us. We don't care. We're already married. Right? But you do it and you go, turns out this formality is a fun, special, incredible thing. I fell in love with Jenny. I didn't think it was possible. How could you after 13 years? How could you fall in love more? But I recommend it. It's, usually people get married between 18 months, 3 years. That's sort of like the average maybe in society. 5 years at the most is late. It's starting to be late. 13, anybody over 8, 9, if you're thinking of not doing it, because you're like, wow, we've been together 9 years. We have a home together. We have pets. We've built a life. Trust me, get married. I recommend it. I love it. I fell in love with Jen, and that's the thing. Not fell in love with Jen, all over again, is what I'm saying. But the thing is, you plan it. Well, she does a lot of the planning. Let's be honest. I show up. You plan it. It's a lot of details. You're stressed out leading up to, and then it actually comes the day of, and you're there. You're standing at the altar. Best man is there, and all the groomsmen, everybody's there. But you haven't really thought of that moment until it happens, because leading up to it there's so much planning and logistics and making sure everything runs smoothly. And we've talked about this on the podcast too. I've legitimately had a fear of bombing the wedding, even though I didn't do anything. It's all Jenny, but you plan and want everyone to have a good time, and you don't actually think of what it all means and what you're there for and the actual moment. And so I'm standing there, and it's like you're kind of like in this headspace of like, this is fun and it's special. And then I turn around and I see Jen walk into the church, arm in arm with Braun, her dad, and tunnel vision. And I just see her. And it's just like that moment. It's like, oh yeah, fuck. You completely forget. That's what it all is about. Because leading up to that moment, you know that moment is going to happen. In fact, you internalize it and you kind of watch it from the outside looking in. You go, oh man, everyone's going to be looking at me and my reaction, and like it's going to be like a mushy moment where everybody's like watching, and that's weird. You think about that going into it. But when it actually happens, You could give two fucks about any of that. There's no self-consciousness. You don't feel, how am I being perceived? None of that matters. And you get tunnel vision. And there she is. And I didn't know what her dress was going to look like or looked like. I had no clue. Everything was a surprise. And that whole moment, you go, you forget what it's for. And it's that moment right there. And when she walked down the aisle, you have to remember, 13 years in, keep in mind, you feel and know that you've seen all of the scenarios that you'll see this person in. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows, but this is a whole other thing. This happens once. This is a whole other thing. And so it's like tunnel vision. And the time she walks from the back of the church to the front, it's long. And it's just the two of you. That's it. Everyone else disappears. And she's so stunning. And you're seeing her. I was seeing her for the first time in a way I've never seen her or could have imagined. Before that, you go, imagine Jen playing badminton. Done. Imagine Jen skiing. I picture in all of the scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, I can picture her in everything because we've been through everything together. Not in a wedding dress. Walking down the aisle. You can't imagine that until it happens, and you kind of forget about that part. You forget about it all. And then you have tunnel vision in that moment. That was probably the best part of the wedding for me. The walk from watching her come out of the sunlight indoors in the beautiful church where I grew up in Skiduk, and watch her walk down the aisle. And there's no one else in the world. It's right there. And then she gets to the front, and you go, oh yeah, that's what it was. That for that. All of that was for that. It was for that. It's fucking worth it. All of it. You go, wow. Why did we not do this before? A, but B, I'm so glad we're doing it. And that it's not just a formality. It is a phenomenal, beautiful thing where you get, you marry your best friend, then you get COVID. I don't have COVID for the record, but if I didn't, I would. Anyway. And then you kind of forget the regular world that has been happening. Excuse me, that's the thing too. I've been feeling like I'm like, why isn't like the whole world on vacation? It's wedding month. If you think like, you know how you feel special on birthdays? Imagine when you're wedding. A wet wedding? Anyway, there's but no, world life continues. Oh, by the way, let me just do this real quick. This episode of the Julien Dionne Show is brought to you by, that's right. Oh, we have a new sponsor, by the way. This episode is brought to you by, get this, Gringos Blazes Sauces, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they're back. Head on over. They're back in production. They moved operations from Ottawa to Saskatoon or Regina Beach. Not Saskatoon, Regina Beach. What am I? What's going on?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know. You're right. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, they're back in operation. Head on over to GringosBlazingSauces.com. Enter promo code JD5 for 5% off. I mean, I can't say enough good things. Doug is back in production. Gringos is back up and running and better than ever. They sent us a case of stuff. I mean, this stuff, no preservatives. They use fresh squeezed lime juice to preserve their salsas. And so you feel it has that fresh on the beach Mexico flavor. The hot sauces are in a whole other category. I mean, do yourself a favor. Head on over to gringosblazingsauces.com. Enter promo code JD5 for 5% off at checkout. And free shipping in Canada, I believe. I could be making that part up, but I think that's what it is. Can you hear it in my voice? The struggle fest? The struggle puss? My voice, anyway. whatever. My voice, I get no respect. My voice, I get no respect. I miss Jenny and Jordan. There's just it's just more like back and forth, like there's more banter. You know, like the topics I bring up solo are fun and fine, but oh my God, could we ever milk these things if there was someone else here with me? Commonwealth Games, I don't know. I don't really follow. I mean, I've said this on the show before. I'm the worst kind of sports fan. I'm a bandwagon sports fan. Bandwagon. French. I'm a playoff fan. I love playoff sports, but I won't follow regular season. Don't even talk to me about exhibition. Practice? You gonna talk to me about practice? The Commonwealth Games were in in the UK. Where was it? In come on. It doesn't matter. Where were the Commonwealth Games? Birmingham. Anyway, I saw this highlight. I shout out to TikTok for showing me fun things and opening my eyes and teaching me things, learning. I'm a big TikTok guy now. Follow me. I don't put much out, and all of my videos are big time flops, but follow me nonetheless. Let's build a little community. I love it. TikTok. Right back at you. I saw this on TikTok. I think it was ESPN or something. Scottish runner Eilish McColgan. I was watching the track and field. That's not true. I just admitted I wasn't watching it. I saw the highlights. I just admitted. Why am I saying I was watching? I wasn't watching any of it. I saw the highlight on TikTok, looked it up, thought, oh my God, I cried, full well up. Thought, this is something. Let me talk about it. That's it. Eilish McColgan. First of all, the times they run these races are insane. The 10,000 meter, which is a 10K, in 30 minutes. It's crazy. The men run it in 26. Not to say, but 26 minutes is psychotic for a 10,000 meter, or 10K. That's crazy. I like anything under an hour, like hovering around an hour. I'm impressed. 30 minutes. Anyway, Eilish McColgan is a runner, track and field. She's Scottish. She's been placing and doing pretty good. But here's the thing about her. Her mother won the 10,000 meter at the Commonwealth Games. She run the 10,000 meter, the gold for Scotland in '86 and again in 1990. And I'm just going to show you the race. Why am I wasting your time and mine? Even the audio, okay, the guy that calls this race is just, I mean, that's an art in itself. The broadcasters that are doing this, phenomenal. And I discovered a couple. I'll play a couple more because there's, depending on where you watch it, you get different people calling the race. And she was not the favorite to win. She was up against, I think, a five-time world cross-country champion who was favored to win. Shit, what's your name? Doesn't matter. It matters, but I can't. I didn't pull up the details. We'll hear it in the call. Here. Let's just watch the last minute of this race. This is in a stadium in Birmingham with 22,000 people. Keep in mind, as loud as the crowd is, you cannot begin it doesn't begin to do it justice. But here it is. And by the way, I'm just going to play this. I don't care if it's long. It's one of the great moments. Happened last week. I think on Thursday or Friday. And here it is.
The world cross-country champion from 2017 is under real pressure here by the Scot, who is going to receive an almighty roar from the crowd when she comes round to hear the bell.
Very tough moment for Eilish McColgan this. How do you decide when to go? Because I think she looks far the better of the two. Does she go hard here from 500 metres out? They're coming towards the bell. McColgan here looks to have the speed, but Cheptai stubbornly holding that inside line and raising her game. It's a wonderful battle between the heavyweights as they reach one lap to go.
Listen to the noise from the crowd here as they take the bell in the final of the women's 10,000 metres. Irene Cheptai, the world cross-country champion from 5 years ago, desperately trying to pull away from Eilish McColgan, who's putting in one of the bravest performances of her career, desperate to follow in the mighty footsteps of her mum, who's won this title not once but twice, and she still hasn't been broken. What a battle here. Cheptai is giving this absolutely everything, and somehow McColgan staying with her. Less than 200 to go, and we still don't know who's taking the gold. McColgan's had a silver in the Europeans, but this would be incredible. Cheptai accelerates again, playing etched on both their faces, side by side, shoulder to shoulder. Who wants it the most? Listen to the crowd. This is absolutely incredible. History is being rewritten here in Birmingham in spectacular fashion. Eilish McColgan is the Commonwealth champion, just like her mum was back in 1986. She's beaten the former world cross-country champion to do it. This is the performance of her lifetime. All that work, all those miles for all those years, and she has become the champion. That was spectacular. Kiprotich takes the bronze, but it's McColgan who takes the headlines here. That was incredible.
Woo. I mean, see what I mean by the guy calling the race? How unbelievable. I mean, it just adds to it. But what a moment. And it's great for the sport. It's great for track and field. It's great for the Commonwealth Games. It's great for Scotland. It's great for her. I mean, and of course, you can go on Twitter and you can see a lot of people did split screens of her and then her mom. She's here. Actually, there's the footage here. Her mom is here. Hold on. Let me play a little more. I'll fast forward to.
It's a deja vu. She had to battle for it down the home straight, didn't she? When her mother won 1991 world title in Tokyo.
Let me see here. Where is it?
Second, she's got to start focusing on a marathon pretty soon.
And there is the embrace between mother and daughter. Two proven champions. History does repeat itself. Liz,
I mean, it's pretty normal for me.
And I'm not sure Eilish.
It's pretty normal for me to cry at that, right? Hello?
Well, maybe you should wash it.
Oh, that was loud. Anyway, I was watching that the other day, and I was bawling. And okay, so then I became fascinated with the people that call it, like the different. Oh shit! I had it queued up, but it. I don't know which broadcaster that was or who, but this was from the BBC, and this one the audience, like the crowd, sounds a little bit louder. Hold on, coming up here. Anyway, just go down to Twitter wormhole and Eilish McColgan. Eilish McColgan. You'll just, it's a great story. Obviously. Here it is.
Required. Cheptai goes first. The bell. The 25th lap of the 10,000 metres. Eilish McColgan digging deep, trying to hang on. This is for the gold medal. It's Kenya against Scotland.
Different guy calling it.
This is going to be a long run for home. Cheptai is throwing everything out there, so McColgan is hanging on. 300 metres to go. the screen. She sees the tall blue figure of Eilish McColgan just a metre behind. 200 metres to go. Eilish McColgan has the whole crowd on her side. Everybody wishing her, hoping that she can do it. It's a half a metre hit. Cheptai of Kenya in the lead into the home straight. 100 to go. It's Cheptai.
Listen to the crowd.
McColgan moves to the front. Strike for strike. Eilish McColgan opens up a gap. She's going to make it. She's going to do it. She's going to emulate her mum. Eilish McColgan is the Commonwealth champion. Gold for Scotland.
I mean, I'm crying now.
An incredible race.
Literally crying.
It's been a record-breaking year for her. She's just got another one. That's the games record, as well as the gold medal, as well as the
Jesus. Whew. Right? I guess that makes me feel better because it means I'm not an animal and I still feel things. Anyway, I think I'm going to end on that. Just do yourself a favor. Go on YouTube and YouTube Eilish McColgan and go on Twitter. Follow her on Twitter and check it out. Hey, this has been a solo pod, a fun little, just me little thing. Thank you so much. Jenny, I miss you. And I love you.
I love you too.
I don't know why that voice. Jordan, I miss you. I love you too.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Anyway, we'll be back on Wednesday. That's tomorrow with a brand new episode with the whole crew here. And until then, that's it. Oh, no after show today, but why don't you do me a favor? Do me a solid and head on over to patreon.com/JDShowPod and sign up. We do the after show, which is, it's a whole other show. The Julien Dionne after show with Jen Grant. It's a whole other show. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but the drum roll. I know what the tagline means. It means it's a whole other show because a lot of other podcasts, they'll release Patreon episodes and then eventually they'll release them on YouTube for the general public and the cheapies. We don't. We leave them up there. So because of that, we've named names, we've gossiped, we do Mariah or Yoko. We have a fun time. It's a whole other show. So, and if you sign up, you check it out. There's about 17. Sorry, I can't multitask. I was scratching my ear. 17 backlog episodes up there now. We do them every week after the show, the Julien Dionne after show with Jen Grant and Jordan Grant. It's a whole other show. No after show today because I'm alone. I mean, what am I gonna do? Beat off? That's my OnlyFans. All right. Appreciate it. We're doing this dry, if you haven't noticed. No music, because we keep getting dinged for copyright on YouTube. And we're trying to build the YouTube. Even though I don't really care, they keep telling me video is the future. And so for that reason, we're trying to build their YouTube channel. We have so many listeners, audio listeners. And I prefer listening to the show. And I do listen. I'm a fan. Ugh. I'll edit that part out. No, but when I do listen, I prefer to listen than to watch. But I do the video component because people say that video is the future. Anyway, this week you get 2 back-to-back episodes. It's right now it's Monday night for me, but this is being released Tuesday morning for your listening pleasure. And then later today, I'm going to record another one for tomorrow with the whole crew, though. With everybody, though. All right. That's it. Thank you. And good night. Good night now.